Is it just me? But sometimes when I'm speaking to people, and they always say, "Oh, you look so well," and there's nothing wrong with you. I mean, does that happen to you?
Yeah, all the time. No, but it's like me and Frankie love fashion, love clothes, love makeup, and we're not gonna not use any of them just because we're ill and have arthritis.
I have really bad days and I have really good days, and on the bad days I can't get out of bed, or I don't get out of bed. Sometimes I'm in so much pain and I just feel so down.
I think that's also when the feeling of isolation really sets in for me,
Definitely,
having to kind of lie there, sometimes for a week on end.
Yeah, you do feel a massive feeling of isolation. And
I remember being in year 7 at secondary school, and my school was a sports college. The teacher used to make me get changed into the PE kit, which took me like 20 minutes, and would make me sit at the side of the sports dome to watch, and then they make me get changed again. And it was so isolating, embarrassing, and it was making me feel like, maybe I need to try a bit harder. And I used to cycle, I tried to cycle madly, and then I'd really damaged, I actually dislocated my hip doing it, because I was really trying to prove to them that, no, I'm not stupid, I'm not. And that was a really sad fact, and that shouldn't happen. How do you two get on with ordering your prescriptions, on a monthly basis? Because to me it's just a complete maul, really, having to order it online, then go and pick it up and take it to the pharmacy. It's just such a performance to do it.
Yeah, well actually my pharmacy's come up with a brilliant way of organising repeat prescription. So they contact your doctor's surgery and sort out what extra meds you need, and they ring you and say, do you need any more of this medication, and then you can come and pick it up. So it kind of cuts out the middleman, so you can, so it's a really good system. Really good. So yeah, I'd recommend to anyone if they could ask their pharmacy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I'm a bit old-fashioned. I've got my file of facts where everything's written in, and sort of like star days where I've got to be running down to the doctor's surgery and giving him my thing. A lot of the time my mum's having to do it as well, because I'm too busy to do it.
And it takes so long as well to get that well-needed medication.
And it's really annoying when it comes up and it's like, you need to see the doctor before you can have this medication again. It's like, I am on it long term. And it's just really, and you've got to go into the GP, have an appointment, which is a bit of a waste of an appointment, just to say, can I have this again, please?
I mean, how do you guys deal with do you have a different diet? Do you exercise? Do you find anything that helps you that way?
I try to exercise, but where do you find the time? It's just really hard to keep saying, I'll do it next week. I've been starting swimming from the new year. That was my New Year's resolution, and it's still not started yet.
I think it's an amazing sport for people with arthritis, to be honest, because
it's quite good for the joints. It's one that I find that I can do, and I feel quite good at it.
And kind of one of those cardiovascular exercises which you can really exert yourself without causing damage, that pain and everything like that. And also just getting into a pool with like the heat of the pool is just so soothing as well. Bit of relaxation as well.
Have you ever been to a hydro pool? They're
really good. Hydrotherapy is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I go to the gym and I have a trainer, so she helps me work out different exercises I can do that aren't going to do too much damage or make me feel like rubbish the next few days. That's really good as well.
I don't know if it's just me, but I have a really bad habit of just, I want to know about that, and I'll just Google it for easiness. Where do you look for information?
I mean,
I do exactly the same. I Google it.
It's a bit of a habit,
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, on my diagnosis, I was given leaflets by Arthritis Research UK from the hospital with, information about the medication I was on, about rheumatoid arthritis as a condition, and I found them really helpful, Yeah,
I did as well. They gave me quite a lot of information, there was a whole pack of information about treatments, coping with it, that sort of thing.
Self-care.
Yeah, self-care, lots of things like that, which I found really useful. But apart from that.
I mean, online, a lot of people, when I look online, there's so much information that's all different. Whereas like Arthritis Research UK have it quite nicely laid out, and it's it's something, it's the brand, and it's something that you feel you can trust, and that's a big thing.
It's not too complicated either. You don't want to be wading through a lot of information. You kind of want to know quickly what you're up against, or how to take a medication, and that's really good. It's very concise, which is nice.
I found the NHS website really helpful as well. I don't know about anybody else, but that's got
quite good as well.
I got quite a lot of information on about drugs as well as like diseases and such. Yeah, definitely.
Have you had any support from like the hospital in terms of I know a lot of people don't like it, but like psychological support? I mean, have you had any support?
I wasn't offered any help from the hospital, to be honest, but I went off and found my own help. So I actually see a counsellor on a regular basis, and I find it really useful because I get quite anxious sometimes with like the pain, and I think probably having like a a feeling of like anger underneath as well, of being so young, being diagnosed with such a limiting disease. Like, when I'm in a better place mentally.
And I think you're more equipped to deal with, you know, I've got this, but I can deal with it.
I think you've got to be honest with yourself when you start a medication, and you've got to be in charge of your body in terms of if it's not helping, change it.
There has been some medications that I have really struggled to cope with. So, for instance, methotrexate, which we mentioned before. Like, I found that really hard to deal with. The sickness, everything. I think it probably actually made me feel really down in myself. In the long term. The prospect of just never having to take it again.
I was literally skipping down the hospital corridor.
Yes. You can do whatever you set out to do, whatever you want to do. It might be a little bit different in terms of, it might not be how you planned with the arthritis, but you can get there.
One thing I'd say though is just make sure you look after yourself. I think we all forget as young people, you sort of power on.
Don't
be
too hard on yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you're fighting something that not a lot of people are fighting, so you know.
Yeah, so look after yourself.
Give yourself a break.
That's, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know best. And I think people forget that.
You know, you're the expert, you really are the expert in your condition.